Hey guys, this is Lost Worm, and you're watching The Worm's Turn, channel where I play games, probably review games. So currently I'm playing Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. I've just started the 5th chapter, which I believe is the final chapter of the game, based on me checking my progress. Just want to remind you guys that if you like my content, just like the video. And if you want to keep track of when I'm posting new videos, subscribe to my channel. I also wanted to let you know that in the description of each video, I have timestamps of what type of content is coming up at what time. So you just click the timestamp, it'll have a little, it'll say battle next to it, or it'll say exploration next to it. So if you're looking for the battles, just click the timestamp, it'll take you to the closest battle, or take you to that battle. Assuming I'm able to title something, like all the battles so far in this game have a title, I will put title next to the timestamp too, so you'll know exactly what it is that you're.
Never thought I'd see the day. The Queen's returned.
You'd be jumping. You know exactly what you would be jumping to.
Know this, Your Grace. Blackclads have shut themselves up in our cities. They give no hint of surrender, show no sign of giving ground. My. What'll become of Prince Willem now?
So, for those who don't know, my lady, our soldiers are losing patience. They can't bear to see Nilfgaardian flags fly on our kingdom's borders. They long to see the Rivian coat of arms claim its rightful place. Your Grace, I know more urgent matters require your attention, but this would surely raise morale. I don't really need gold anymore. Wholeheartedly, I agree. We shall pay for a new banner at once. Not that it was necessary. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, right now my recording process is I just sit down and I play the game for as long as I'm able to, given my schedule that day. And then I split the video up into about half-hour, the videos up to about half-hour increments. So, I only really do
Rivia. And here I feared I would see it no more.
I believed you would. I believed you could succeed. Be victorious, Your Grace.
We've not arrived just yet, Reynard. Look. Black flags still flutter over the cities. We've yet much work before us. More battles to fight. More blood to spill.
Oh look, it's my thumbnail. Okay, so, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't do the intro at every video or the outro on every video because of that. What I am going to do is I'll probably put a text reminder while I'm editing the video at the beginning of the video to tell people about the timestamps and bookmarks. In the barracks, Meve had witnessed the living conditions of many barracks. They typically smelled of boiled cabbage, sweaty foot rags, and cheap hooch. Nilfgaardian barracks, however, proved of a different sort. Cleanliness and tidiness were highly valued. Meve watched with satisfaction as her soldiers' filthy, mud-caked boots tracked across their immaculate, polished floors. Standard battle. Damn Nilfgaardians, keeping everything clean and pristine. Who do they think they are? We're gonna mess this place up. They think they can bring civilization to us? We'll cover their civilization in mud and grime.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Alright, how do I want to play this? Let's just try to overwhelm the numbers this time. See how that goes. So I'm actually gonna start with this.
Again and again and again.
101, 102, 103.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Ha!
What do you want of me? Left, right, left, right.
Catch!
Cursed traitors.
That makes me a little sad. This is just fine. So, take this guy down.
Ugh. Lyrian
Man, I
lummoxes.
can use these guys to just basically play all of my pikemen. Multiply them, like tons of them.
Hail Hertha.
Alright. Let's get these guys down.
Sod it. Sod
Drop
it all.
cards.
Nilfgaard!
Don't like this.
Nilfgaard!
Seven.
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
Slingers or these guys? No.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
So one thing I don't like about the way my deck's set up now is it's much harder to get pit traps. Oh.
$152, $154.
All right. Let's see what we get.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
That was good.
Tell me you jest.
That wasn't so good. I can change him for
Off to
something
the
else,
front yet again.
though. Boost self by 2 and gain 2 armor. Okay.
Yes.
Necessity. Invention's mum.
Enemy by the number of your allied units.
You mad? Don't say that! Quiet! Commissar will hear.
So the problem I have now, they do 4 damage, and these will boost basically by 4. There's only one of them though. Well, this is currently worth it. Okay. So let's play my reinforcements. How does this work? Choose an ally and play all copies of it from your deck. Oh, it has to be on the field?
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth? Ah! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
There we go.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away. Thing about slings, they hide well. I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Is there any chance I'm going to draw a pit trap? No, that's impossible. So oops. Oh, this guy's doing more damage. I momentarily forgot how much damage it do. Alright.
Off to the front yet again.
Thing about slings, they hide well. Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
Pointy end upwards, right?
Right.
Ah! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Let's do it again. Anything? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 8 on there already. So, whatever. I'll just pass. I don't know what I was talking about, guys. What's this? Got an achievement. Collect 15 treasure maps. From Dukardel Epdahi, Grand Chancellor, Commander of Army Group East, to Sergeant Jan Fran. Sergeant, Queen Meve approaches Rivia. Though her ultimate failure is assured, we cannot rule out the possibility that she will reach the cordon at the border. Thus, I recommend all outpost commanders to conceal division treasuries. In the unlikely event of failure at the border, our resources shall nevertheless not fall into enemy hands. Mark the location of your hidden coffers on a map and dispatch it to High Command immediately. I don't know what he sounds like. As usual, not that I can necessarily imitate his voice, because I'm not great at it. Oh yeah, so I really like this game. It was basically right up my alley. I do have some minor, not complaints about it, but I guess some things that I think could have made it a little bit better. So I feel like I got to a certain point in the game. I think it was chapter 2. Yeah, it was chapter 2. And I was struggling for a little while, and I altered my deck to do a lot of damage. After altering my deck, I basically haven't had to change anything since. Everything's been, like, my damage output has just generally been so high that the enemies can't really do anything about it. Report. My lady, this pit, bodies piled in. Appears to be peasants. Their hands bound and throats slit. Has every look of a mass execution. What would you have us do? A proper burial they're owed, and we shall provide it. There's a couple of things that could have been done, I think, to handle that. Oh, there was one exception, but that was the boss of the last, well, one of the bosses of the last chapter. That was kind of ridiculous because the way my deck was set up is it would automatically lose the battle as soon as it started, which is a problem of its own. But I would like to have seen in between chapters there be a transition between the core of what composes Meve's deck. So like each chapter perhaps maybe like have new allies be the core of the deck, and you can modify your deck around that core. So for example, in chapter 3 we were in Mahakam, where there were a lot of dwarves.
Meve needed but set one foot into the Ruewode to know something was amiss. The sickening stench of rot hung in the air. Flies swarmed in thick clouds, and crows cawed in a deafening cacophony. What had caused this murder to amass? Well, Meve's scouts soon found out.
Your Majesty,
reported a certain Sergeant Nadamur.
not far from here, past the bend, there's a cottage and it's full of bodies. Our boys and the Blackclads alike. Bodies mutilated, horribly so, guts ripped open, entrails strewn about, heads locked. Somewhere, well,
yes?
Branches embrace them, grip them tight, as if the trees, they strangled them.
Oh, Leshen.
Hearing this, the Queen ordered a halt to their march. They would go no further, she thought, till they knew what had killed those men. Luckily, witnesses were soon found. A haggard band of resin burners emerged from a nearby dugout, black with dirt, covered in dried blood.
My lady,
their eldest stammered.
Blackins came and started felling the wood. Forced folk to chop away, to make way for a town, they said. They pushed hard, right to the heart of the forest where the old oaks grow, and awoke some foulness. The whole camp, Blackclads and loggers alike. Done in one night. No time even to draw their weapons. We was lucky. Found pits to hide in. Just heard of something huffed and puffed while talking to the trees, no less.
Reynard ordered medics to tend to the tar-makers, then turned to Meve.
We cannot wash our hands of this, Your Grace. The Nilfgaardians awoke the monster, yes, but it kills Rivians just as readily.
Meve stood at the edge of the clearing and pricked her ears. The Ruewode echoed with the cawing of crows, which seemed to perch on its every twig. She also heard the howling of wolves, and a hollow rattling, as if branches whipped in the wind, though the day was fair and still.
That Geralt. He just had to desert me.
The Queen removed her cloak to avoid snags, and trundled toward the heart of the wood. Her soldiers followed, clutching cocked crossbows to sweaty cheeks.
Yeah, so...
Thank ye, Your Majesty! You'll protect us from the Blackclads and monstrosities. Them Blackclads don't understand the forest. Don't understand nature. They rape it. Try to take too much, too fast. We told them. Unwise to venture so deep in the wood. Thank ye, your
Yeah, in Mahakam, the core is you're surrounded by dwarves, and you have a dwarven escort. You could have had the core of your army be centered around dwarves, and then modify it around that. I, Queen Meve, hereby proclaim that upon regaining my throne, I shall raise the geld and poll tax threefold in order to ensure the realm's populace has appropriately compensated the royal treasury for wartime expenses incurred. Similarly, I shall increase compulsory labor twofold. Whosoever attempts to withhold property from royal collectors shall have their hands severed at the wrist and their eyes gouged with a red-hot iron. That's nice propaganda. And then chapter 4. What was happening in chapter 4? This is a swamp area. I don't know what it could have been, but maybe like a druid. I don't know. I don't know what's available in Gwent, like what the options are. But, you know, just worked around that to try to change the cores of the deck and change the gameplay a little bit so the player has to adapt a little more. Your Majesty, a tree's been snapped clear in half and now blocks the road. I know not what's to blame, but 'tis clearly not the handiwork of man. What are your orders? Shall the engineers remove it from our path? Yes, have them set to work immediately. The thing, when I'm preparing these videos, I do some minor editing. I wasn't at first. I started a little bit later just because, well, in my earlier videos, I'll tell you later.
Deep in the wood, it grew cool, with a thin fog filling the air. Meve pushed past a large branch of hazel and froze. Before her stood a tall figure, nearly human in form, save the moss-covered deer skull in place of its head. Empty eye sockets burning with naked flame, the monstrosity hurled itself at Meve with a roar.
Rally to me!
Cried Meve, raising her shield.
Everyone! Anyone, to me!
It is a lesson. Guardian of Ruewode? I don't know. The monster encountered by the Lyrians in Ruewode is known to simple folk as a lesson. They believe it defends the forest against those who too greedily harvest nature's bounty. Of course, the scholars of Oxenford argue this is nonsense, and that the Leshen, or rather Sylvanus Agilis, is simply one of many post-conjunction beings. In truth, it did not matter to Meve who was right. No, it did not matter to Meve who was right. Optional, eliminate the Leshen, shorten battle. $700 power. Oh boy. How do I... Whenever this unit takes damage, deal bonus damage of 0. The amount of bonus damage increases by 1 whenever it takes damage. Even minion. Every 2 turns at turn start, move to the other row and damage all units on the opposite row by 2. Death Wish. Increase the damage taken by Leshen's weak spot by 4.
Be wary. We know not what this thing can do.
Well, that didn't go well.
What have we got ourselves into this time?
Any Lillians here? Oh, wait.
Left,
Right.
right, left,
Okay.
right.
Should play this guy sooner rather than later.
Cursed traitors.
Alright.
Hey,
Oh, what?
Fascinating specimen. I must study it once we're finished.
Okay, Isbel. Boost wolf minions by 4. Death Wish. Increase damage taken by Luscious Weak Spot by 8. Interesting. Different type of wolf. Let's do this. No, not quite yet.
Again and again and again.
Move 2 turns and turn start. Move to the other row and damage all units on the opposite row by 2. Okay. Same deal. Okay, let's do this now. Alright. Okay. Awesome, I can move the Leshen around. Ah, sweet. Okay. Let's play this guy first. We got blacksmith. Oh shoot. Okay. I want to play this. Oh well.
Necessity! Invention's mum.
Not going into the fray already, are we?
Okay. Let's do this. Drummer.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I'm hoping they'll eliminate some of my units. Maybe I should start eliminating my own units. Okay.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Otherwise I'm gonna run out of room to slingers down. Okay. Like, how many spaces do I have left? I have 4 spaces. If I recall somebody, that should get me some space. Let's recall him. Ah, damn it, Knickers! You're in the way. Let's do this. Oh, can't this turn. That's fine. Let's delay a little longer, actually. Okay. So I need one of my units I can eliminate easily. These guys. I don't really have an option, I got at this now.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth? Bigger they are, easier they are to
Can I
tap.
right click? Can I get stop placing them?
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Is there anybody else who I can get rid of? Not really. Let's take 2 shots. I mean, I might as well just use their ability to change guys in.
Okay. Left, right, left, right.
Something from nothing. It's exactly what I do.
Go. And you. I guess I could just let ravens kill my units. That's an option. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna win this time. Firebombers would be really good here. Shoot. Well, I'll try again. I have to not use up so much space on non-damaging units. And then, yeah, firebombers would be really good. So, we can get rid of you. You're gonna be amazing. Knickers, I don't want you. This will be helpful. Don't need that. Don't need that. Could use that. I don't need you. Ah, yes, I could use you. Could use that. Not sure what on exactly. Return ally to hand. It's basically 1 charge. It's still better than.
Be wary. We know not what this thing can do.
Bother. What have we got ourselves into this time?
Okay. Feeling a lot better about it this time. Let's first thing first. Get rid of these guys. As before. I don't think I have the same problem I had last time. Let's get him down.
Don't
Give him
buy
more
this.
turns. Let's just replace these guys right away. No, it's not. Okay. Next, I want to. This is hand or battlefield. Play.
As you wish, my lady.
Add more slingers.
A fascinating specimen. I must study it once we're finished.
Yeah, Nicker's taking up my space. Next. There's depth down there.
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
Shit, another pit. Oh well. Pit. Slinger.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
And reinforcements on my slinger.
Bigger they are, easier they are to tap.
Enough to fill up this whole row.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth? Thing about slings,
Plus an extra.
they hide well.
I could use this to return into my hand. And give me an extra turn later. Not that it looks like I'm gonna need it. There we go.
Believe it's dead. Whatever that means for such a thing.
Attacked from all sides, the monster teetered and swayed, fighting off their blows with ever greater difficulty. Finally, it fell to the ground and fell apart, like an undone bundle of twigs. In disbelief, Meve towed the pile of dried branches and scraps of bark. She saw no blood, no entrails, as if no monster had ever stood there. As if it had all been a dream.
We return to the road.
Meve said, crushing the beast's deer-like skull under her heel.
Ah, and Reynard, I've a request.
Yes, Your Grace?
Once we regain the realm and return to the capital, remind me to issue an edict. No one is to enter these woods, not to log nor even to gather brush. Just in case.
Those dwelling near the Ruewode heaved a sigh of relief, and the Lyrians returned to fighting an invader who, after what they'd faced in those woods, no longer seemed so frightening.
Ruewode. It's pronounced like it was spelled.